Hello, I'm at Fox5 with Kevin McCarthy, the famous Kevin McCarthy.
And I'm with the famous Carmen, who has been traveling the world and doing amazing work with Special Olympics. And I just want to say I'm honored to be interviewed by you. It really is truly an honor. Seriously, I've been talking to your mom for a while. I love your mom. You have a great family. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yes, what is that?
How long have you been in media?
I started in media in 2005. I started in radio. I did the job I'm doing now for very little money for about 8 years as a freelancer. I worked a sales job, 9 to 5, making not a lot of money, and I would use the vacation days from that job to travel for press junkets. And this particular job I'm in now, I've had full time since 2013. So it's been a crazy road. I started off with an internship at George Mason University, which landed me an internship at a radio station, and then that kind of led me into radio broadcasting, television broadcasting. I never planned on being an interviewer or a movie reviewer, but you know, I just had a passion for movies, and that kind of like helped me through those 8 years where I basically wasn't making any money. I was like living off of, you know, a very low salary. My parents were helping me out. I had 3 or 4 roommates. So it's been a journey, but I always loved movies. And movies, the best advice I ever got from a teacher at George Mason was do what you love and the money will follow. And I thought it was cheesy when I first heard it, but now years later, it's exactly what I did. So.
How long have you doing the movies of screenings?
So the movie screenings, that's a great question. I started off so when I first started in 2005, I had no media credentials whatsoever. I had a buddy of mine from high school who worked at a movie theater, and I would go to his theater, and because back then, movies were shown on film, prints, projectors, not digital. So you had to test the movie the night before to make sure it was clean so it could run the next day for the audiences. So I would go to those test screenings with him so I could watch the movies and then review them the day they came out. I eventually worked my way onto a movie press list where they invite me to screenings and review the movies. But the movie part of it's been since the beginning, since 2005. But my love of films has been since I was a kid. So, but the actual job of movie reviewing was 2005 forward, but full-time 2013 till now.
How did you decide to go to media?
It honestly happened by accident. I never planned on being on television or being on radio. I never looked at myself as somebody who was a television personality. I've always found myself, when you watch Fox5, I feel like everybody who's on our show, including myself and our anchors, we're all just being ourselves on the air. I don't think we're trying to be television personalities. I think we're just really just being ourselves. And I think that's why viewers are so that like our show so much. And as you saw when I met you at North Beach and all the people who came out to see our show on that zip trip, and you guys did that amazing dance routine, you can just tell it's a family, and we all and it's nice that people recognize it. And so to be honest, it's just really I'm being me on the air, and I'm not putting on a front or anything, you know.
What was your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is, for me as a film fan, it's being able to meet my cinematic heroes. So growing up, you know, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Christopher Nolan, these people were a big deal to me. And so when I was in that 8-year stretch of not doing making hardly any money off of it, it was the 4 minutes that I was able to get with those directors and actors. It's something called a press junket. So for people who are watching this, I fly around the country to different areas, and I watch a film, and then I interview the actors. Generally, it's about an 8-hour press day. The actors are in a hotel room sometimes, most of the time. You walk in and out, and they bring journalists from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. I'm the DC person who does it. And it's those 4 minutes that you get with that person that always kind of felt like the payment for me. I always felt like that was the reason why I was doing it. And to sit down with Steven Spielberg is my favorite part of my job, because I'm able to, basically I wanted to go to film school, but I couldn't afford film school. So it's almost been like going to film school and with the actual geniuses who create the movies that I've always looked up to.
What is your favorite cast of any movie screenings you did?
Favorite cast? The favorite interview I ever did, there's a couple of them. One of them is definitely Steven Spielberg for a movie called War Horse. I had prepared a week for that interview, wrote like 17 questions. It was a 4-minute interview, so I had basically only got through 3 questions. When the interview ended, I asked Mr. Spielberg for a photo, and it didn't turn out good, and he started directing the people in the room, like the lighting and the flashes, and it was weird. Like our photo was directed by Steven Spielberg. Cast-wise, I mean, there's been so many big interviews over the years. I mean, I think definitely anytime I've been able to interview Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was my hero growing up as an actor, I always loved his work, and to be able to have met him at a Terminator movie was absolutely surreal to me.
I know that I love Disney and I love Frozen. I know there's a new Frozen coming out,
Yes.
Frozen 2. How did you get involved with Frozen 2? Because I love Frozen. I'm happy that I got to do that with you. You went to Los Angeles and of the cast of the behind of the voices. How did you do that? It's 2 minutes that also.
So what we're gonna do for Frozen 2 is we're right now we're recording this interview. We're in September. The movie comes out in November. And when I met Carmen at the Zip Trip in North Beach, I learned that she was a massive Frozen fan, and she was a massive Fox5 fan. And so we decided that I'm gonna bring you to a screening of Frozen 2 once it comes out in Washington, D.C. And if I have the chance, which I'm hoping for, to interview the cast of the movie, the goal is going to be to bring a video question from you to the cast. And I'm waiting for all that to kind of come in. But in order to get that information, that invite, it just basically comes about 2-3 weeks prior to the movie's release. And then I would do the press. And yeah, I want to involve you because I know you're a big Frozen fan. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all plays out. But we're definitely going to go to a screening together. And I want to do a movie review together with Carmen so we can both come at it, because you're a bigger Frozen fan than I am. And I love the first Frozen, but you love Frozen. So I want to get my audience a perspective of somebody who genuinely is a fan of Frozen versus somebody, me, who's going to the movie. I like Frozen a lot, but I'm not like my most anticipated movie of the year was something else. So it's fascinating to me that we can have a discussion about a movie from your perspective as somebody who absolutely loves the cast. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
What are your plans for the future?
I've always wanted to direct a movie. To be honest, I'm a massive fan of production, technical aspects of movie making. I've always wanted to be on a set. I've had a lot of thoughts recently about writing a screenplay. I really want to direct something, and I just need to find the time. As I get older, I'm starting to learn about how to look at my time and spend more time on things that are more creative, and I'm just trying to do that more often. So in the future, I would love to be a director, and I would love to be or some type of screenwriter and just be on set, be in that filmmaking process.
What advice do you have for a brand new media person like me?
Well, first of all, you're doing a great job. You're holding the mic perfectly, which is like half the battle, because sometimes people hold it too low or whatever. This is perfect mic holding. Advice for you, I mean, you already have exactly what it takes to do this job. I mean, you have passion for your movies. You love what you do. You're traveling the world with these amazing dancing elements. I mean, Abu Dhabi, you won the gold. It's truly amazing what you do, and I find it so flattering that you wanted to come and interview me, because I want to interview you. And but I mean, my advice to you is just never lose the passion that you have for something like Frozen. Is a great example. Like, you genuinely care and love that film, so you covering that film from a media standpoint when we do our movie review together is going to come from an angle where audiences are going to be able to watch you and go, Carmen loves this movie, and I love that she loves this movie. So people are attracted to passion, even if they aren't passionate about it as like, people aren't as passionate about filmmaking sometimes as I am, like how a shot was done, but they like that I'm passionate about it, and they're attracted to the passion that I have for it.